Hello! Oh my gosh, I'm here, it works! Hello, hello! Oh my gosh. Well, nice to see everybody. Happy Facebook land out there. You know me, I love music. Gotta stand it up. This song is called, so you can hear, I Am Unbreakable. Alright? So now we are going to be, I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to share with you what's been going on with me the last few months. We've all had a lot going on, okay? But we're going to make some changes and educate you, but have some fun with me. You are unbreakable. So you got to tell yourself, I am unbreakable. And the more you tell yourself that, the more things are going to change. So we're going to talk, it is, if you didn't know, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. So that is huge. And we're going to be going over and talking about plant medicine. So this health talk is going to be educational. It's going to be informative. Please understand right here in the beginning, I'm not claiming anything at all. So these will be stories of me, what I've been going through this last year, the last few months. And then I've got stories of really good friends of mine on things that's been happening to them with their parents, them, other friends have been reaching out to me, and what they've been dealing with. So you've got, I'm going to be talking about my anxiety. I'm going to be talking about the pain that I've been going through my physical body, things that have happened with my career. And again, sharing other stories of depression, dementia, gut issues. I mean, you name it, it's crazy right now. And the one thing that's crazy is, this used to be all adults, but now kids are getting these type of diseases, and our pets are getting these kind of diseases. So we're going to talk all about that. You don't know who I am? I am unbreakable. My name is Shihan Deani Bivens. I am a world champion pro athlete. I've been in the martial arts arena for over 45 years. I've had a blast, an amazing career, helping hundreds of thousands of families from all over the place. And the one thing I can tell you through that, I learned so much from them because of things they were dealing with and things that were going on with them. So, you are unbreakable. Alright, this is a really cool song. I just came across it a few months ago, and the lyrics are about just standing up. I lose, I win, either way I'm a winner. You get up, you bruise, you fall, you get in that dark space, you're still unbreakable. You got to keep pushing through. And that's the whole point of what we're going to be doing today. Just for a little bit, getting to talk to all of you and having some fun. Okay, so I love playing some music. It makes it fun. That's how I rock too. Okay, and what's cool is I got my mom behind me. Love it. All right, it is done. I love it. Unbreakable. Okay, so here's where we go. So Mental Health Awareness Month is huge, going on all over the world, and we know why. It's been pretty crazy with everything going on and things happening in our world. But I'm here just to educate you on plant medicine, on things that can help you. And again, I'm not claiming anything. Western medicine has its place where it needs to be, and then there's other things to use that I've been using that's helped me tremendously. So again, adults normally are the ones that initially have dealt with the things we're going to talk about. But now, unfortunately, kids are dealing with it, teenagers, majorly things are going on. And then again, our pets are dealing with human and people diseases. So I go back years ago when I started dealing with anxiety. So, and if you don't mind, drop in the chat with me. You can put in there what you've been dealing with and what's been going on with you. But I've been dealing with anxiety since I was a teenager. And I remember the first episode that I had when it happened. But back in that time period, and I'm 56, so I have no problem saying that. I didn't know anything that was going on with me when whatever happened. And we just kind of let it go. I felt whatever and then thought that was kind of strange and told my mom I didn't feel good, and no one talked about it again. And then there was not another episode until later in my early 20s. I remembered the feeling. But again, no one knew what was going on. No one said anything. Just got through it, rode it through. Had a situation where my partner actually had to come pick me up. My boss, I don't know what's wrong with her. She said she doesn't feel good. So it wasn't like I said, I had a gut ache. It wasn't like I had a cold. I could say something like that. I didn't know what was going on. And back in that time period, you heard it was like panic attacks and anxiety, but really didn't know what it was. Fast forward, I had a hardcore major episode in Sydney, Australia. I went there to do the World Martial Arts Games. I was one of the captains for a literally 350 man and lady team with kids and teenagers. It was a huge honor, and thank gosh I performed and won and did all that kind of cool stuff. But then we had some time afterwards for a couple of weeks to hang in Australia and just have fun there. And we did. I was on the outback with the kangaroos and my partner and some friends we met and competitors. It was great. And then what happened is we did a tour in a cavern. And I've been in caverns before because my dad was from Texas, so I've been in those before. But for those of you that deal with anxiety or any type of enclosure, you know it gets really panicky feeling. So what happened is we were going down this cavern. We were going down and going down and going down. And then we crossed this bridge. There's about 12 or 15 of us. I never forget the man that was touring us. He was probably in his late 70s. And he had stated he had just had like bypass surgery or something. And then he's talking, and then while we're on the bridge, and I can see the blue water down below, and I can see all the cool things going on, and all of a sudden this rush came over me, and I had no idea what it was. All I know is I was trapped on the bridge. I couldn't get in front of people, and I couldn't get behind people. And as much as I can kick butt, I couldn't kick anybody because I was just froze. And my partner's looking at me going, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but get me out of here." She's like, "Get you out of here. Like we just got 45 minutes in the path as the guy took us down." And the man could see something was going on. It was kind of funny. He's like, "Oh, Raw, you'll be okay. Just suck it up. You'll be fine. Just keep walking forward." I'm just like, "Oh, really, dude?" Well, my partner literally had to step in and go, "I don't know what's wrong with her, but she doesn't feel good. We need to do something." And they literally had to get a whole different team and crew to come in and pull me back out the way we came in, because that was 45 minutes in. It was still another hour or so going through the tour that we were on. So I remember them taking me out, and they got me out, and I was like, "Huh, I could breathe when I get out." Who's ever felt that way where you're like, "I can breathe. Everything's closing in." So that's what happened. And that stayed with me for quite a while. We had some fun while we were there. Flying back was an 18-hour flight. 20-hour flight was not fun. It seemed like forever, eternity. But again, this was in 2000. So my first attack happened when I was a teenager. You figure 35 years ago. And then this big one happened in 2000. I was about 35, 36. And I remember we came home and we didn't talk about it and everything was cool, but I still felt really weird, okay? So you have panic attacks, you have anxiety, and you have depression, and they're all on different levels that you have to understand. And a panic attack, for those that have had them, they're a Mach 10. Like they can't go any further, and you feel like your body's going to explode. You just feel weird, and you just want everybody to like leave you alone. And that's how I felt. And at one point, my partner was like, "What's wrong with you?" Because I was going to my company, because I own my martial arts company, Red Dragon, which I still love. And but I was sleeping in, and she just didn't know what was going on. I'm like, "I don't even know what's going on." We attempted to go to some doctors. They back in that time it was panic attacks. That's what they were talking about, and we were still trying to understand it. And I remember we were watching the show, and if you look it up, it's called Panic, and it had Donny Osmond, it had Alec Baldwin talking about his wife, and it had all these celebrities talking about what they were dealing with. This was back then. So then my partner and I realized, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. And they did want to put me on like medication and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to go on anything. I don't feel comfortable going on anything. I don't know what this is. So fast forward, I had to figure it out. And I figured it out on my own, eating really healthy, which I always did, but even more. Tons of water, no soda, no candy, no sugar, even though I love candy, or sugar, excuse me. But I had to figure it out on my own. So fast forward, I've been dealing with this off and on for years, and traveling and flying. There was even a competition that I didn't go to because the anxiety got so overwhelming getting on a plane. Who can relate to that? And then fast forward through the years, and in 2018, I came across some plant medicine that changed my world. And we're going to talk all about that here literally in just a minute. But because of what I'm going to share with you, again, I'm not going to claim anything. I'm going to share stories of me, and stories of friends and people that are around me, even recently, of people connecting with me. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your gut. So we're going to talk about enzymes. Now, your gut is your second brain. And when I first heard that, I thought someone was like joking around with some humor, and I kept hearing, "Your gut's your second brain, your gut's your second brain." Well, then they told me, they go, "It's for real, your gut's your second brain." I'm like, okay. And I realized they weren't joking. Because when your gut doesn't feel good, guess what? Your brain doesn't feel good. And right now, everybody's eating more fast foods than they ever eaten ever. I mean, fast food made a killing this last year and a half, big time. That's all people have been eating. So cooked and processed food. So now you're taxing your body. Your body can only take so much food and processed food. Now, what happened to me was a few years back, I got diagnosed with what's called leaky gut. Well, back in that time period, no one knew what that was. It was a very scary situation. Now, I don't have it anymore, but I know what it is. And people, when I say it, they're like, oh my God, I have leaky gut. I know what you're talking about. But true story, happened a long time ago. Didn't know what it was. And now my gut was messed up. Who's had bloatiness and gut issues? And you know, gluten messes you up and dairy messes you up. But again, now I'm adding to this, not me, but who do you know dealing with acid reflux, digestive issues, Crohn's, colitis, diabetes, high blood pressure? Do you recognize any of these diseases? Well, they're off the charts now. But when I got introduced to these enzymes, I was blown away, because when I got diagnosed with leaky gut, I had to rotate all my food. I couldn't go anywhere to eat. It was very frustrating because my friends were like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, go where you want. I'll have a salad. And I knew anywhere I traveled with my team, we were going to go out and it'd be pizza and all that, and I could not eat the food. And back a few years ago, this was 2012, I want to say, or 13, gluten-free items really weren't out at that time. They weren't really around that much. But as they did start coming around, gluten-free products and stuff, to let you know, are very high in fat, very high in calories. So I realized after a while, I don't want to be eating that anymore. So got on these enzymes. And here's what you have to understand. When we're born with so many enzymes in our pancreas. And once they get depleted, then disease is on the rise. And that's why you're hearing little kids, 6, 7, 8-year-olds having type 2 diabetes. This is boys and girls. And it's nuts. And I've seen it at my karate tournaments when I would go, and I would see kids just chomping down like all the crud and stuff that was there. And I'll never forget, a little boy was having an issue going to the bathroom because I could hear him in the bathroom. And then the parent popped off and said, I told you not to eat that. Well, the kids are only going to eat what you allow them to eat. And parents don't realize that sometimes. So fast forward, I'm at this tournament and I'm learning about enzymes. I'm hearing all this education about them. And I'm asking all my karate buddies, all my guys and girls that I competed with. We traveled the country together. I'm like, hey man, what are your thoughts on enzymes? What do you think about enzymes? What do you know about them? And they all looked at me like it was some kind of weird word. Like, what are you talking about? And please understand, I've been in the health and fitness industry. I worked for a very well-known diet company called Nutrisystem Diet Center. None of this was ever talked about at all. So I had no idea what they were talking about. And I asked all my friends and my karate buddies, and they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I had a couple people go, I think I know what they are, but I'm not really sure. There was only one person that knew what I was talking about when it came to enzymes, and it's because he just came off a bunch of chemo treatments. And the doctors told him to take enzymes to make sure he's clearing and cleaning out his blood and keeping his insides clean. And that's why he was taking them. So he knew what I was talking about. And when I told him what I had, he's like, you got a really very awesome product here. So this is very impressive actually on what you have. So fast forward, gluten-free, dairy-free, I still am. Again, the enzymes do not come back in your pancreas. But now I can eat whatever I want, where I want, when I want, and I don't have to worry about bloatiness, any type of gut issues and feeling that way. And it's crazy. So I'm going to show you a fun demonstration. It was showed to me a while back, and I just started laughing. Check out this chocolate pudding, okay? Now, don't get hung up on the pudding. It represents carbs, fat, sugar, protein, everything we eat in our food. So I'm going to undo the little pack here, okay? Now, I like to have fun with everybody. How do you chew your pudding? So I'm going to go, how do you chew your pudding? I'm like just asking. So I'm going to take my little enzymes right here. And the enzyme is called life. So life gives life. What's happening, because of so much processed and cooked food, it's all dead, and that's not giving life to your body. So now I'm going to take the little enzyme, and I'm going to put it in the pudding. You'll see here in a minute. I'll put it on the camera so you can see. So I just put the powder from the capsule in. So there you see right there. Okay. Now this capsule is cool because it's gluten-free, it's dairy-free, it's actually a vegan capsule. So I'm going to stir this up in the camera while you're all watching me. So now, understand, again, your gut, your second brain. So picture the game Pac-Man, or sometimes I like to say Pac-Lady, and picture every time you're eating cooked or processed food, because most people are not eating raw, fresh, and living. And I'll say it again, most people are not eating raw, fresh, and living. So now, just before a major cooked meal, whether it's steak or chicken or pasta, you want to take these enzymes just before. So when you take them, what will happen is when you start eating, picture the game Pac-Man, and it's just going to start chewing, and it's just going to run around in your stomach to break all that food down to the smallest molecule and possibly pull some nutrients out of that food depending on what you're eating. Now, for the most part, I tend to eat pretty well. But for example, if I eat salmon and it's cooked, all of the nutrients have been killed out in it. So now the enzymes will attempt to pull whatever they can out of that to still give me something from that food, that salmon. If you're eating a cheeseburger, good luck getting any nutrients out of that. Not going to go very well. Now watch the camera here. You watch my little pudding here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh my gosh. What? There you go. So in the matter of a minute or so, it broke it down. And while we're sitting here for a few more minutes, that will break down even more into chocolate milk. Now I make it very clear that it doesn't come out that way. I had someone go, oh, hallelujah. All right. Now I remember I was doing a talk and some guy's like, can I just continue to eat like crap? I said, yeah. Why not prevent things? He's like, okay, very cool. Then I had a really, really good friend of mine in the martial arts world. We grew up together as a young boy, and we grew up together, and he travels the world. And he said, well, I think I'm healthy. I said the same thing. I said, okay, what about prevention? He's like, okay, sounds good. Well, he loves these enzymes. He's been on them for at least a couple years. I've been on them now for 2.5 years. All my friends are using them. All their kids are using them because, again, they're kid-friendly. They're pet-friendly. Pets, again, are getting people diseases. So that's what's sad, too. So you got pets getting diseases, kids getting adult diseases, and adults getting sicker. And then everybody's all sick. And it's just a domino effect in the household, in the family. And I've seen this in my career with, in my just so you know, my Facebook Live got messed up yesterday. And I don't know what happened, but I'm going to wave to Dave. Hey, Dave. Because I'm trying to get it, it's trying to reprogram again. But, so you've got all these families now are just rising with diseases. So the age group from like 40 under is where I'm really noticing major illnesses, major depression. Because think about it. If your gut's jacked up, that's going to jack up your brain. And when you're eating a lot of sugar and coffee and junk, then that's bad. And your gut can't process it, and it affects the brain. And that's going to create depression. That's going to be part of anxiety, things like that. I know if I do attempt to have, I don't, very rarely, but if I have something that got caffeine or something in it, it will trigger my anxiety. I'll just tell you that straight up. So most people, though, are eating this way. They're eating processed and cooked food. That's how everybody's being raised now. All your kids are being raised to eat this kind of food, and it's messing up your kids. That's why you see autism on the rise and different diseases. I was looking at a post earlier before hopping on here, and a lady was talking about her son just turning 14. And because of these products that I'm showing you, the two products I'm going to show you right now, the enzyme and something else I'm going to show you, her son just changed as far as his attention, being more calmer, feeling better, with his gut because things that were going on with him. So enzymes are crucial. And here's what I'll tell you. You don't know what you don't know. I knew nothing about these literally almost 3 years ago. And prior to that, I knew nothing. Understand that most supplements, 9 out of 10 of them are synthetic, which means they have chemicals in them. I've had doctor friends of mine use my enzymes. They had their own. And they're like, wow, these things are ridiculous. And then they attempt to do like that pudding demonstration and it didn't work. There's other companies out there that have enzymes. It just does not do what ours do. And it's just the formula that we happen to have, which is really special. So the products out there, if they say natural, if it just says 10%, it can say natural. I was on a talk a while back with my buddy, Roland and I. We were listening to our mentor, Mrs. Diebel, and she was saying some stuff. And I'm like, I didn't know any of that. And he's like, I didn't either. So as healthy as us athletes are, or we attempt to be, we don't know everything. At least I don't know everything. And I've had to learn this, through the process of understanding why this is so important more than ever to have good gut health, because your body's being taxed. And when it's taxed, it messes up the brain. And when the brain is messed up, that's when you start having things happening. You're not feeling good, and you're taking medication, you're taking laxatives, you're taking, Pepto-Bismol, and all that stuff is chemicals. And all it's doing is masking it. The other thing is you're going to go to the bathroom more. I've had so many people go, I don't go to the bathroom, or I don't go for like 2 or 3 days. That's bad. Like, that's seriously bad. Think about it. What does a baby do? A brand new baby does what? It poops all day long. It eats and poops, eats and poops. Okay? So I was going just fine, but I go at least 2 or 3 times a day, and I'm fine because that's getting all that waste out. And I've had tons of friends come back to me and go, man, you're right. I'm going more. Oh my God, I feel so much better. I've got guys, trust me, you guys have bloaty issues too, and I have guys that come and tell me that, okay? Another enzyme I'm going to talk about real quickly, it's called our Restore. It's a proteolytic enzyme. This helps with inflammation, because inflammation is the silent killer, and that's what people don't realize. And this goes in, and you take this actually without food. And if you didn't know, of course, a lot of you don't actually, I had hip surgery back in July 10th. So prior to that, I got injured in my karate career. So much kicking through the years, it finally caught up with me. The doctor's like, you're messed up. Was taking these proteolytic enzymes, and what it does is it goes in like Pac-Lady also, or Pac-Man, and it breaks down all the scar tissue that's built up in your body and just chews it down. It gets all the rodents and everything in your body out. So when the guy saw my MRI and the doctor looked at my profile, he's like, wow, you have like hardly any inflammation. Like, how could that be? And I was telling him, plant medicine at its finest. So my don't have to be an athlete. I have friends. One of my friends, we're going to talk about her more here. Her mother has dementia. So we're going to talk about something here in a minute, why it's so important. She's using the enzymes. She's on the Restore. She broke her hip about 3 months ago. One of our good friends has been in my family for years, almost 30 years. Her name's Donna. Her mom broke her hip. So we got our mom on the Restore. And this lady is 80 years old, by the way. We have her on Restore, we have her on the enzymes, and we have her on something else I'm going to show you here in just a minute. So you don't have to be an athlete. Any injuries, this helps with fast recovery. Any illness, fast recovery. Again, hint, 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 things going on right now. My friends have increased this. They've increased their enzymes, and they're noticing they're feeling awesome. So now, the next thing we're going to talk about, the last thing, is CBD. This is sweeping the nation. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's been grabbing for it, using it, something, somehow, some way. Okay, so we're going to talk about the CBDs of CBD. Okay, now, for me, what happens, you understand, is a lot of people aren't aware that the Farm Bill passed back in 2019, right in the beginning. So the end of 18, all of 18 is when I learned about the enzymes. Loved it. And then 19 is when the Farm Bill passed, which means the farmers could grow hemp, on their farm, on their land. And that's why you're seeing all this it started exploding in 2019. I knew nothing about it, I'll tell you straight up. I just thought it was the pot marijuana thing. And if you do that, it's all good. That's your thing. It's not my thing. And my karate martial arts academy was in the desert out in Indian Wells, Palm Desert, Palm Springs area. And all I would see was dispensaries of pot and marijuana. So that's what I thought it was. So when a friend of mine reached out to me and said, can we talk to you about this so you understand it better? Here's what I'll tell you. This has been told to me for years by major leaders from around the world. And they would tell me, Deanna, the most expensive thing you can own is a closed mind. And I'm going to say it again because a lot of you watching me right now, some of you have a closed mind. Some of you that watched me months ago have opened your mind up and have reached out to me going, can I try some of that CBD you're talking about and those enzymes? I'll say it again. The most expensive thing you can own is a closed mind. Write that down. Okay? Because that's anything in life. So I was open to listening. So glad I did. And here's what you have to understand. We have like your hormonal receptors in your hormones. You have your nervous system. You have your digestive system. But nobody realized we have what's called the endocannabinoid system. Say that 3 times fast. I'm just starting to get it down. So endocannabinoid system. So it's in your system. We have it there. It's been suppressed, and no one knew about this. Even doctors just now are starting to understand a little bit. And I can tell you right now, what I learned 20, 30 years ago, it doesn't work today. Doctors cannot keep up. I'm going to say it again, especially what's been going on lately. They cannot keep up. They've only specialized in one thing to be your doctor. They're not specialized in multiple things. So they're just trying to figure it out on their own. And I've gone to a few doctors, and even my doctor is like, I have no idea what CBD does. I'm not really sure. You know, I have too much going on. It's all good, but they don't know. So my point was to get educated. And the more I got educated, then my friends started listening to me, whether it was my karate buddies, my fitness friends, just my friends, my family started hearing me more. They realized, okay, she keeps talking about this. My brother reached out to me, said, hey, I want to check out those enzymes you're talking about. So all my family, friends, loved ones have all been reaching out to me. Now, the CBD that you're aware of is CBD oil. And please understand, I'm not here to talk bad about anything, okay? The oil is what started it all. But here's the difference. Ours is fluid, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. The oil, there's only 6 to 9% bioavailability to get into the bloodstream. And you got to stick it under your tongue. You got to press down and hope to gosh that it gets back into your blood. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a demonstration with this cool little wine glass. Now real quickly though, before I forget, check out the enzymes now in the pudding. Now we have, you can hear that. Now we have chocolate milk, yep. And the enzymes got down even further, breaking this down. So that is so cool. Again, it does not come out that way. So do not panic and go, wahoo, Shihan. But you can actually drink it afterwards if you wanted to. Just kidding. I like chocolate. So now, here is an oil. Now, this is where I've been teaching a lot of people. And just know that I learned this from our leaders and our mentors and our health educators. And as I learned it, it kept sinking in. And now I have been in front of thousands and thousands of people, been in front of hundreds and hundreds of talks. I've done hundreds talking to people or whatever to learn all this. So some of you, 2 years ago, I didn't really know what I was saying, but you didn't know that. But now I've gotten much more educated on what's going on here. So now you have your dropper. This is a dropper. And a dropper normally has 20 drops in it. It's kind of the standard, okay? And if you go to a dispensary and you ask them how many drops you're supposed to take, they'll literally tell you, I'm not really sure. Try 2 or 3 droppers and see what happens. So people normally have to do 2 or 3 droppers, and you're getting basically 20 to 40 to 60 drops. So you can see as I drop it in the water here, you look here very carefully, the oil is on top. So I got to do 2 or 3 droppers here, so you can see that. I don't want to spill this. So now the oil is on top. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to mix this around with my spoon. And if you know anything about oil, water and oil don't mix. So when people say ours is water soluble, that's an oxymoron. Water and oil don't mix. We used to say that. We don't say that anymore. So I'm going to explain to you why in a minute. But now you'll see the oil is all over the glass. So now understand that is going in your gut. And I've had people go, ooh, that's crazy. Yeah, so it's sticking to your gut. It's not going anywhere, all right? Now, we say water compatible. Why? Because it's the whole medicinal plant. Now, we have to shake ours. So we have to shake it up, mix it all up. Now, I've been at really cool CBD expos, and I've had dozens and dozens of people in front of me, and they'll taste it, or even at karate tournaments. And it's hilarious to hear people say it tastes like barley, or it tastes like chocolate brownies, or it tastes sweet, it tastes tart, it tastes spicy. And they'll have guys out of nowhere like, let's get real, people. It tastes pot. It tastes like pot. I had a lady the other day go, it smells like marijuana. Like, let's be real. Hey, it's all in what your taste buds taste, okay? Because everybody's different. So I got to shake it. And now with ours, you're going to see it's a really cool dark color, but I don't have to use all of that. So now what I'm going to do is take my glass here. There we go. And let me take this, it's got cold water actually, so let me get the glass to wipe off here so you can see it. So it's got cold here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to take my dropper, and now pay attention to the glass. Here's one. There you go. I can see it. And here's the second one. Boom. All right. Now, can you see that it's suspending in the water? So now I'm going to take my spoon and clean it off. Okay. And now I'm going to mix it around. And now you'll see that the CBD fluid is all mixed into the water, and it's still suspending on the bottom. You can see that. So this is a great glass. I'll have this for tonight's sleep. So now let's get back to anxiety, depression, sleeping, autism, dementia. My good friend that I was telling you about, who's been in our family for a lot of years, her mom's got dementia, she's got Parkinson's, and we got her this immediately. So this happened probably like 3 weeks ago. I go, you've got to get this. So she's like, cool, order it me. I don't care what it costs. Get it to me ASAP. And again, her mom's 80 and she just came up a full hip replacement. She broke her hip, all right? So she gets her mom the CBD in about 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks now. We talked and she's like, oh my gosh, Deanna, this is a true story, buddy, so listen up. She said she got her mom to be coherent. She got her mom to have a conversation with her and actually talk with her like she understood her mother and her mother understood her back. Her family stepped in and go, what did you do? And then she said, my good friend, Deanna, I've tried it before, but I didn't understand the part of it that Deanna explained to me for our mom for what's called the receptors, and I'll go over that in a minute. And then the family could not believe they got their mom back. I mean, how special is that her mom is coherent and actually can talk with her? So now, 3 weeks later, she's had her mom on this stuff consistently. Now my friend Donna's taking it. She's feeling a big difference in her sleep. Her mom's sleeping amazing. Her mom is way more coherent, more cognizant on what's going on. Her Parkinson's, her shaking's gotten limited. How cool is this? And then she's on the enzymes, which is helping her with her gut, because the gut's messing with the what? Messing with the brain. So she noticed that her mom's talking better. She's clear on things. All in 3 weeks, this has happened and transpired. I think that's a really, really special story, and it just happened recently. Now, with me, my anxiety is gone. I've been traveling before this pandemic. I had traveled to Puerto Vallarta. I traveled to Cabo. Now, I just recently got back from the Dominican Republic, and some of you guys saw the post. I'm going to tell you right now, I would not have gone if I had not had the CBD because of the mask. The mask makes me feel a little claustrophobic. Who could agree? So that would have been really hard for me to get on that plane for that long of a flight and knowing that I couldn't breathe. So I knew I was going to take my CBD and get it through the border control and through the dog sniffer and all that good stuff, because you can take CBD on. And I had it, and I was fine. I chilled. The flight was pretty bumpy. I get motion sickness also, and all of that's gone away now. Using this little baby, this little bottle of plant medicine has saved my butt. In the Dominican Republic, we were at the Secrets Cap Cano Resort. We were on an excursion on a boat, catamaran, with all my friends and buddies. A lot of you guys had a post. Did not get motion sickness, none of this. And if my bro's watching, he knows his sister has been sick since I was a kid. He used to go, Mom, she's getting sick we'd be on a ride, and she's like, my sister's getting sick, Mom. It's just how it's always been. So my sleep is phenomenal. My anxiety is gone. My pain is gone. That's from the Restore. Both these plant medicines, all 3 of these plant medicines has added to everything that's been going on after my surgery. It's been amazing. And now I've had friends. I've done some recent talks for big corporations. Now what I'm doing is a lot of coaching, health coaching, self-defense coaching, which means self-defense, defend your mind, defend your health, elevate your health. That's my company, Elevate Self-Defense. And I've connected with 2 big major companies, both international. And they all heard this. And both talks were geared towards mental wellness for their employees and staff and team members. And they loved what I showed them. And literally a girl the other day is like, Shion, can I please get those enzymes? My boyfriend's got serious gut issues. Talked to a lady the other day. I'm going to see her here in a bit on a Zoom. I'm going to teach her. And she's like, I want to hear all about that CBD. I want to hear all about those enzymes. I was talking to a lady yesterday with her dog. And that's just it, folks. Your animals, in the beginning of this ordeal where we had to stay home, who would agree that your dog and cat was like, what up? Like, what are you doing home? Like, you ain't supposed to be here. And they're talking back and forth like, what's up? Why is Mom here? Right? So in the beginning, it was kind of like, oh man, Mom's here. I can't play in the kitty litter. Or I can't thrash the house, right? Or I can't rip things up because now they're watching, right? And so it was great. You guys all had your pets and your pets got used to you. Well, now what's happening is all of you are going back to work. So now you've got what's called separation anxiety. And that's what this lady was saying. She goes, and her dog was a beautiful shepherd wolf. And she goes, yeah, I'm dealing with, he's got major anxiety and he's just wound. I can't get him to chill down. The CBD will help your pets big time. It gets in the bloodstream very, very quickly. And please understand, when doggies and cats don't feel good, they go out and eat the what? They eat the grass. And that makes their tummy feel better. Okay? Again, this is all plant medicine. So your animals are being infected with what's been going on. And the more you can help your family, which is everybody in the household, the better you're going to have a healthy, prosperous, working machine that's all non-chemical. If you look at the ads right now that are being ran, and I've been watching them lately, everything's regarding depression, everything's got regarding, anxiety and things, but the bottom line, be aware of what it's going to do for you. Warning, it's going to do this to you. That's scary. And I got to tell you, got my mom behind me right now in this really cool picture of her. My mother actually didn't pass away of the cancer. I can talk about this now. She didn't pass away of the cancer. She passed away because they gave her the wrong treatment. The wrong chemicals got mixed in her body. And then, to keep it simple, she had something happen to her and it affected her heart. So it wasn't the cancer, it was the chemo treatment. So understand, those drugs and those medicines out there and stuff, all they are is a Band-Aid. Again, Western medicine is there where it needs to be. Don't misunderstand me. I was at the pharmacy a few weeks ago getting my second vaccine, and I wasn't eavesdropping. I heard the guy talking about Xanax, I think it was, and he was getting a new prescription for his wife. And the pharmacist came up and said, it's a new prescription. Your wife has to be here. We have to talk to your wife. You can't take this. And he literally goes, my wife's been on this forever, like forever and ever. And he said it like plain as day. Well, sorry, folks. After a while, the medication's not going to do anything except not make you feel good. And that's what I hear from people going, yeah, I take this stuff, but I feel like crap. So I've got friends with depression. I've got friends with bipolar. I've got friends with dementia. I've got friends dealing with gut issues, Crohn's, colitis, high blood pressure, diabetes, you name it. And they're all gradually coming off the medication because it took them a while to get where they're at. Now, did it take away some of the things that are going on with them? No. But the drugs that they're taking was just messing them up and not making them feel good. Why take something if that's going to happen? My surgery, by the way, was a huge success. Huge, from one of the top doctors in the country. But what happened in recovery, they did something with my drip and it made me feel sick and they saw me go south. So they had to do an EKG stat to come in and do something with the drip to change it back to bring me back. It was actually really scary. And the nurse goes, man, you are sensitive. And I said, yeah, I don't take anything if I don't have to. And by the way, my nurse is using all this. So I hope this is informative for you. Again, you don't know what you don't know. What was going on years ago doesn't work today. And we were the most sickest we've ever been, most unhealthiest generation ever in this time period. And especially now with everything going on and teenagers dealing with just the depression and just all the pressures and stress in school and going back and wearing those masks. All this stuff can help, and it's all plant. And to see little kids feel better and teenagers feel better. There was a talk that I was on with a teenager, she's like 19, and she was talking about depression and just how she was just depressed because of this lockdown, right? We've all been going through it. So that song, Unbreakable, you are unbreakable. Make sure you're saying that to yourself. You can get through this. We all can. If you want to know anything about this, privately message me in Messenger, and I will help you out. Directly message me, and I will take care of you. But again, plant medicine, this is mental health awareness. But as far as I'm concerned, it's 365 days a year. And you'll be hearing more from me. I'll be doing more talks to educate and help you all out. And it's stuff that needs to be learned. And the more I can help out, the more I can elevate your awareness and help you understand why this is so important. And plant medicine really is becoming the new talk now, the new conversation. And people a year ago and even a year and a half ago that heard me talking about it, now they're like, can we talk, please? Can you please call me? I'd like to hear more about that. What's going on? I had one of my karate buddies for a lot of years. She finally reached out to me and says, please get me the CBD. I need it for my husband because he's going through some medical stuff. So got a lot of people coming at me going, please get me this. Again, it's plant medicine at its finest. All right. So elevate your life, elevate your love. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. And then I'll connect with you over the weekend. You'll see me again. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.